Alright, Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, back in the shop again today. We've got another installment of some new Vitavon parts we're putting in the Kraton 6S build here. Here's the truck right here. If you've watched any of the videos, you've already seen all the stuff I've done. This is the most recent stuff, is the front end, control arms, and a bunch more stuff. If you want to watch this video series and you haven't seen it, go back in the channel, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos from this or anything else we do around here. And well, let's get into it. So these are what we're doing today. We're doing the rear control arms. These are the back rear control arms right here. You can see on my truck, they're plastic Arma still, stock. These are the original ones. I haven't broken them yet. But we're going to replace them with the Vitavon aluminum billet 7075. To finish off this vehicle, we've got tons of parts in it already, so let's check these out. They're beautiful pieces here, just as all Vitavon parts are. Beautiful machining, nice quality aluminum, great design. Yeah, I love them. Love the shine on them. I usually go with just the silver, the natural aluminum look. I like that look. I don't know, some vehicles I do tend to mix it up and throw some blue or some gold or whatever on, but a lot of the time I go with the natural silver. Main reason is when you put a scratch in it, you don't scratch off anodizing and then leave a silver mark in your red, blue, gold, whatever color your anodizing is. So that's mainly why I go with that. Anyway, let's get on with this. I will give you the weights for these arms compared to the stock arms. I'll show you that on the screen in a bit. I also have a couple of pinions here from Vitavon. This is the 11 tooth. I don't know if I can get that to focus on the something like that. Anyway, it's beautiful hardened steel, black finished on them. That's a 5mm shaft, and this is 11 tooth, like I said. And I also have over here, I have a 13 tooth. It's really nice. Also, each one is marked on the, I hate it that my camera doesn't pick that up sometimes. Like I said, I'm pretty much just doing the control arms today. I might throw a pinion in there. I'm not quite sure. I have the one in the truck right now is, you can see it there. It is a bit worn, and it is the stock one, I believe, from the Arma. And I think it is an 11, so maybe we'll put this new Vitavon 11 one in there. We'll see if we can get to that in this video. But I'm going to quit talking. Let's get on with it. All right. All right, I've got the control arms off the truck. You can see here, here's the Kraton as she's sitting now. She's pretty stripped down right now. Everything's just sitting up there. Hubs, drive shafts, shocks, and everything. I just put them up to the top, keep them out of the way while I work. All right, let's have a quick look at these. Here's the stock arms, Arma control arms, suspension arms. They weren't in too bad condition. They are a bit bowed. You can see a little bit of bowing to them from being used and sagged out. Big jumps I've been doing with these and stuff. So other than that, they're going to be thrown into the parts bin for the vehicle I'm working on. I'm going to put together a stock Kraton out of all the spare parts I've gotten from this build I've been doing. So these will go in the bin with the rest, and they're in pretty good shape still. Not too much. This is the bottom, kind of scratched up. But let's move on. Here's the, we'll put these to the side. Here's the new Vitavon ones. Now, what is the difference in these? Obviously, you can see there's a bit of, obviously, size difference with the aluminum being strong. They don't need as much material. It comes with its own mounting hardware, and I will give you the measurements with all the included mounting hardware for both of them, so they'll have the same amount of screws and all that stuff for what you need. The original Arma ones come with these pins here to hold your shock in and a little set screw to hold the pin in. The new Vitavon ones are just a screw here, you can see, but they have given you 4 different options for the lower shock mounting position, which is really nice, because the stock Arma ones have no options, just one place for the pin to go. So that is definitely a nice upgrade. What else? Your drop screws are right here. They are just an Allen grub screw set down in there. I might switch those back to something a little different because they seem like they're kind of short. They don't stick out very far, and they're pretty far down in there, so they're a very short grub screw. I might swap them out with something more along the lines like the stock. Hopefully it's bright enough for you. Like the stock Arma had, their longer ones. I might switch them out for those. I'll have a look at that before I install them on the truck. But I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse of what they were like compared to the stock ones, and I will give you the weights, like I said, on the screen. And other than that, they're pretty much, there's no real difference in how they're laid out and designed except for that mounting screws. So let's get on with the video. I'm going to get these put on the truck and I'll show you what it's like when they're done. All right, we've got those control arms all installed there. Looking real sharp. Looking real good. Well, I'm thinking I got to get that rear bulkhead now, that diff case there. It doesn't look right being all stock plastic Arma in there, so I think I'm going to have to get one of those from Vitavon and complete this build with that and a few more parts I know that they do make for this. They make a couple, well, you'll just have to see what comes next. Make sure you go and hit that like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you don't miss any of the parts I put into this truck. And it's going to be coming real soon, so keep watching, and thanks again for watching. Hopefully. One more thing I did want to mention is the droop screws. The droop screw, they're grub screws. They go in the hole right there in front of my finger. Those ones, they were actually just installed upside down. So I took them out, added some Loctite, and reinstalled them. And now you can reach down through that hole you see in the center of the screen with your Allen driver and tighten them, loosen them, adjust them, whatever you need to do. I added Loctite, like I say, and they are set where I wanted them, so that should be all good. In the future, I might actually get some longer grub screws and put them in there so that there's more thread in there. The screw threads into the arm a little more holding power with the Loctite. And other than that, I think that's about all I wanted to mention. I did also set up the shocks in this this third hole from the inside, the third hole out. That's where I put my shocks because they pretty much lined up there kind of perfectly. So I'm going to run them there and see how it goes, and I can adjust them from there. What else? Not much. I had to loosen off the adjuster right here for these bars. I had to loosen that adjuster off and slide this adjuster back a little bit and then install it down here and then retighten it to where it needed to be. So if you get these arms, just remember you have to do that. They do work. It just has to be adjusted when you install them. Other than that, I think that's about it. Or I will ramble on here because I love talking RCs and I love showing you guys what I've done to my vehicles. So and I also did not end up installing either of these pinions. I'm just going to leave the one that's on my truck in there for now. After I run the truck a few times, I'm going to redo the diff, the center diff. I have a new casing for that. I'm going to redo the diff, so I will put a new pinion in at that time. I'll probably just go with the 11 tooth because I believe that is what my truck has, depending on how it performs when I first run it. I will be most likely setting it up for the street. I have some street tires here. I'll be setting it up for the street so I can use it and do some testing this winter and keep it kind of clean, right? Because it's going to be nasty out here in the West Coast, Canada, with all the rain and snow we're going to end up getting. So I'm going to run street tires for now. I still have to adjust my links. The toe was a little bit off, and so I'll adjust those steering links and get that set up properly. And other than that, I do have a new servo here, just a 35 kilogram servo I'm going to install into the Kraton here pretty soon. And I'll probably do a video on that. And when I do some more parts from Vitavon, as soon as I get another order in. Anyway, we'll let you go. Screaming Demons RC, SDRC, we're out.